elbow to the mark, and now beginning to bring uppercuts through the middle. Hook.
And lazily threw his hand in search of his opponent's head. Usyk.
Left hand success, and then a sneaking underhand left. Hook in real trouble, and the momentum.
Today, I'm going to tell you the tale of how Alexander Usyk handed out a beating to a dirty boxer for his bold words and actions.
Bitch. It's not for fun. With me, it's like this. I'm playful as a little boy, but when it comes to the point, I'm like a lion.
Now, this scandalous story went down in 2017 during the WBSS tournament. The promising Ukrainian, Alexander Usyk, faced off against the German boxer Marco Huck, known for his lack of restraint when it came to dirty tactics in the ring, and insults were just a part of this boxer's game.
Are you disappearing before you get a clip round the ear? Like this?
But the resolution of this story didn't end up the way everyone expected, leading to a brutal showdown. So, make sure to stick around and watch this video till the end, and don't forget to hit that like button. The saga began in the summer of 2017 when the unique WBSS tournament for the first heavyweight division was announced. The winner would become the absolute champion of the division and take home the Muhammad Ali Trophy, not to mention a hefty prize fund of $10 million. Naturally, every boxer jumped at the opportunity. Among them were our protagonists for today, Alexander Usyk and Marco Huck. Thanks to Usyk being the favorite, he got the right to choose his first opponent. And our champion chose the German, Marco Huck, who was once considered practically unbeatable and had ruled the division for many years.
What's the name of your opponent?
It's Marco Huck.
Huck also had a notorious reputation as a dirty boxer not shy of questionable moves. In the ring, he didn't hold back on dirty tactics like low blows, hits below the belt, shots to the back of the head, and so on. Outside of it, harsh trash talking and insults were an integral part of this boxer. And of course, Alexander Usyk was no exception.
He thinks this is just for fun. It's a fight with hard fists. It's not for amateurs. His mood was ruined at the end. He thought he can play with me. It's not for fun. With me, it's like this. I'm playful as a little boy, but when it comes to the point, I'm like a lion.
This is my worst opponent. Too much people tell this Olympic game medalist is very good, and I will do it.
But all of that is just minor stuff. The real drama unfolded during the final press conference when a skirmish broke out between the fighters during a stare-down. The instigator, of course, was Marco, who shoved the Ukrainian and followed it up with some harsh insults.
Bitch. Are you disappearing before you get a clip round the ear? Like this? Bitch, he says.
Alexander Usyk displayed incredible restraint, but his opponent clearly crossed the line. Here's how Usyk himself commented on that incident.
As soon as he pushed me, he started swearing. I held back, smiled. When I was leaving, it wasn't visible on camera. I said, "Hey, Marco." He turned to me, and I told him, "See you tomorrow."
After that incident, everyone expected Marco Huck to try and provoke his opponent again at the weigh-in. Many even said a fight might break out, but it all went relatively peacefully.
Here I can see that he's insecure and he comes out of his comfort zone. He's afraid. He's restless, and in that way, he tries to hide his fear and his restlessness.
On September 9th, in Berlin, these two finally squared off in the ring.
Super Series, and tonight...
The bout promised to be intense in terms of passion, and many didn't miss the mark on that. Right from the first and second rounds, Huck immediately started acting aggressively and pulling dirty moves. Something Alexander, by the way, was prepared for.
Good left hand to the body, point forwards, but it's a two-favorite corner. Alexander Usyk fairly swaggered back to his, and he's electing to stand in between rounds while Marco Huck takes his seat on the whale away to the body. Good right jab being landed to the body. Again, Ronda telegraphing that right hand. Usyk, Olympians in particular, who have gone on to make a significant pound-for-pound list, the mythical pound-for-pound list.
At the end of the second round, Alexander's combination managed to shake up his opponent, and the bell saved him.
Once again, bringing heavy leather. Usyk grins his gum shield back towards the ropes and begins to score with an effective southpaw left. Action heating up here. Later confinement, but went right back to the ropes and the other hook to the ropes.
The intensity Usyk brought at the end of the second round continued into the third.
The equation is quite scored with a good left hand and remaining composed under fire. Back to set up his shots with that constant instruction from the right.
Alexander dominated throughout the round, and in one of the moments, he landed a spectacular series on Hook's head.
His presence felt when the two men came together at the press conference as Usyk gets back onto the front foot. How do you like that? Really a single phase attack, but short to the mark, and now beginning to bring uppercuts through the middle. Hook made him cut.
Hook seemed a bit wobbly, but he held his ground and made it to the end of the round.
In the super middleweight tournament, here our focus.
In the fourth round, Usyk's dominance not only didn't let up, but escalated.
Levels remaining very good indeed, continuing to flip. You can be sure that shot got his attention, but he's back in this.
At one point, a powerful triple landed on Hook's head.
Success downstairs and upstairs from Alexander Usyk. It was he who, from my vantage point, had the better of it. Some of the action from that fourth round.
He almost staggered, but stood his ground again.
In the fourth round, and we have these exchanges. Because every time Hook enjoys a little bit of success.
Before the fifth round could even kick off, Hook found himself pressed against the ropes again. Usyk had complete control, but he wasn't rushing to take unnecessary risks.
But again, it's Usyk who's exceptional. He also competed. But again, look at that for a severe position from Alexander Usyk.
His jab, which in terms of effectiveness doesn't lag behind a Vladimir Klitschko punch, was enough for Alexander to keep Hook at bay.
Voting in evidence from Alexander Usyk, took it to Marco Hook. Hook trying to lead wrestling contest so far in this. Muhammad Ali, the three-time heavyweight champion, he gave it.
Towards the end of the round, Usyk felt so confident that he even started taunting his opponent.
Way forward and scored with some straight punches. But back comes Usyk, wondering Robert Bird to intervene. But in fairness, the center ring on the back foot to end the round.
The sixth round played out much like the fifth. Once again, the Ukrainian was playing to the crowd.
There with the fact that Hook was put under pressure in that moving in punching range, peering between his gloves, and his legs still look a little bit weary to me.
Dropping his hands, inviting the opponent to attack, but the German wasn't landing too many punches, and precise ones were scarce.
The physical capacity to still demonstrate that experience. The deeper he goes, stand stop still, looking to launch his counter. With the losing seconds of round number.
At the round's conclusion, Hook was so desperate that he decided to take a swing at his opponent after the bell.
He walks Usyk, he walks Hook back towards the ropes, and there's an exchange on the bell. And Alexander.
By the seventh round, it was evident that the German was heavily fatigued. Towards the end of the round, he, battered by Alexander's jabs, was barely moving and lazily threw his hand in search of his opponent's head. Usyk openly started enjoying the unfolding situation.
Such a instead, he was looking and Hook now almost following his man around Alexander Usyk. Now he walks his man down once more. By Hook, did the same shot once again. But now here comes Alexander. Anything on the belt line is good. Saying to Usyk, listen, stop complaining. Something of a torrid round in round. There may be a rematch outside of the Muhammad Ali trophy as Usyk again gets because he drops his elbows and then he gets tagged by a straight left hand straight through the guard. In the event that the contest is a draw, a fourth judge, as has happened in previous big fights.
In the eighth round, Hook's already precarious situation worsened with a point deduction. The referee penalized the German for another blow to the back of the opponent's head.
Sustained, fusillade of punches coming from Alexander Usyk. Left hand success, and then a snaking underhand left. Hook in real trouble, and the momentum of the forward momentum of Marco Hook sent Alexander Usyk to the...
Irritated, Marco tried to retaliate, but in return, he received a combination of 5 punches to the face, cooling down his fervor.
And again, drove Hook backward. Turn to the Usyk, perhaps sensing that Marco Hook is so his offense has been reduced to sneaky lead right hands. Now he's getting to work with punches from both sides. Bobbing and weaving in front of his man once again to break down the defenses around this magnificent time of year to the boxing. Gloves or forearm or body or head. A seemingly vulnerable position. But it appears to me that Usyk waves him on contemptuously. And again he's saying, listen man, you keep hitting me low, keep your punches up.
And the climax came in the 10th round, which started quite passively but ended up being decisive. At the beginning of the round, the opponents hardly exchanged blows, and then Usyk began to step up.
Loud defiance in evidence, tighten defenses. Immediately steps back into punching range, scores with the right hand upstairs, then working the body. Hook, popping.
In the second minute of the round, he started battering his opponent with hooks through the defense. The referee had no choice but to stop the fight and declare a technical knockout because Hook was absorbing all the hits and couldn't respond.
Sixth corner. Furious assault being launched by Alexander Usyk. Usyk working away furiously. Shots underneath. Robert Bird has stepped in.
Thus, at that moment, Alexander took his first step towards becoming the undisputed champion in the first heavyweight division, a title